go like bling bling in my ear. I know what you want from me. You want me to click button in window and not outside window. I know. I know. Well then, we have once relatively on time. Rare as that is. And I have decided since I, well, Andy, I haven't, stomached well the changing of weather recently happening around here, so I'm feeling a bit under the weather, having a bit of a headache, and I decided something easy and relaxed would be most definitively up my alley. Also because I was bombarded with a certain soundtrack today, I decided that listening to some more of it sounds actually rather pleasant, doesn't it? Now then, let me just, because I forgot to do this earlier. Usually I have now a method where I post shit while the things is actually loading up, and now it's not. Now I completely lost it. Actually, there was another one I wanted to look at, but I completely lost that. Oh. Well, I should probably change that like this. Because otherwise I will do horrible mistakes. Now then, let me get all of my little windows in order, and then we're gonna change things around and go like whap, whap. This game has a surprisingly nice soundtrack, it has. Well then, we're going to, plan-wise, finish the game. Now, as far as I remember, there are two ways to doing it. One is, the last payment we have to do is to pay the final 10,000. Yes, that's a lot of money. Or else get evicted. And since that is a goal, we will now do something very sweetly and neatly. Namely, we just go and buy all of the shit. So let me get fucking poor as shit. Oh, I got an achievement for buying all of the useless shit. We'll get another one because I will be fucking... Have a nice day. I will get fucking evicted now, of course. But that's the price I'm willing to pay. Quite literally, actually. Good evening, indeed, Little Drill. And Gillian. And everybody else. Oh, right, they want to hold a little bit of celebration. It's gonna be an eviction party. It's official guy who goes to buy the rest of the stuff. That's a hard job. Also, Applegate. Yeah. So you're sending poor Gil out. Of course. A typical woman move like, if it's to my benefit, yes, I'm totally helpless. Understandable. Very understandable move. I'd probably do the same. Also, I still have a bit of a special drink for myself today. A glass of whiskey, to be very much precise. Tasty. I can smell it. All the way over here. Well, actually, a decent amount away from me. But does that matter for the whiskey? No, whiskey's like, screw you also. Is this thing positioned as usual? Nah, gonna give a shit. Like that you sent the poor guy away? A gut feeling. It's a crush. Interesting. Yeah. She's like, what? A girl that owns a bazaar. And he's trying to run away from that, eh? Oh. Tactic. As for me, we need to do something here. Because I kinda, change things around a bit. Well, shit. This just means they sound ridiculously loud. And definitely not the sound you would expect in a bar. At least not any I am particular to. Better. Now how do I get this in there? I guess like this. Okay. That doesn't impress me. Excuse me, I need to drink something. Dying again so early. Good thing I had a beer nearby, otherwise I would have died. Also, bit of advice. Do not combine your drinks. It's a very bad habit. So, technically speaking, I shouldn't drink a beer and then my whiskey, but I will anyway. Why is it so loud there? It's rather strange. Let me make it a bit quieter. It sounds more like a Mass Effect 1 combat track than, you know, what I would like to hear in a bar. You know, screw this. It's really hard to find good music. Especially the intro. The music has to really get me from basically the moment it starts. It's the image I'm looking for, basically. Otherwise... that's not the mood I feel. God damn it, it's difficult. That's better. I also think the game is gonna be an asshole because the game is like, you need to have 12 songs in here. They can be the same song. You can play the same song 12 times, yes, but it needs to be 12. What sort of fucking jukebox is like, put in the exact number or go fuck yourself? None that I know of. No, doesn't fit the image. That could fit the image, but I'm not there. Maybe in a different mode. Maybe if I would play an action game, that would be fitting. Stuff like this, yeah, I can live with that. Speaking, we could change the soundtrack around to just something I look up, but it would be kinda bad because the game actually has a good soundtrack, mind you. Just that it very much depends on my mood, what I consider a good soundtrack and whatnot. That's kinda neat for a bar. That's going too far. Isn't it Kira Miki's song? Sure, I'm pretty sure we're gonna see her before the end. Let's take it. Now, if I'm very smart, I'm gonna make a picture of this and then just edit again. If I'm very smart, that is. And I can be smart. Yeah, no. Don't even get me started. Still not what I'm looking for. Okay. Well, we still have 4 pages, so... Nope. To actiony. Too quiet, honestly. It's hard. It's really hard. But oh well. I actually can tell you a little bit of story while I'm doing this. See, well, as I kinda spoke with the Chronos about, I uninstalled, reinstalled, and redownloaded all of the Shogun tool, and I played around with it. Actually kinda lost track of time a bit while playing around with it again. And, well, as such, I can always already tell you the following. There will be a Total War stream sometime this week. I just don't know which one yet. We'll see, basically. Yeah, that seems fitting. That's a classic, what can I say? You know what, let's end on a positive note. Well, yes, we're going to change your life, because I just spent all of your money, poor Jill, and you will be homeless in the near future. Assuming that I'm getting out of a job, I'm very happy that there's a fucking social assistant who will catch me if that, so I don't end up, you know, homeless. Actually, technically speaking, there's a double system in case you're wondering, in good old Germany. Oh, our first customer of the day. And it's Mickey. I was just talking about you, wasn't I? Hey? I didn't even remember which day are we on? 17th day or something? I fucking don't know. I fucking don't remember. I don't give a shit, but hey, that's cool. Nice to see you again, little star. Can you share some of your photos with me? I'm a pleasant guy. Was? Stockroom incoming. Doors open. Works like a well-oiled machine. And a Red Shiba. Oh, I forgot we had a Red Shiba book in here. Well, that's a sketchy guy, Mr. Donovan. The usually. I couldn't forget it, you know, even if I forget your face, your mannerisms and all of the other nonsense you do. I know a man who orders a big beer. How did I make? Oh yeah, I just need to double the ingredients. Yeah, I remember now. Yes, actually there's a nice little double system. What that means is... shit. Reset. If you work for a certain amount of time, like if you work a year, then you can get 70% of your last paycheck from the state. Keep you alive. Oh yeah, I need to double this, I'm an idiot. What? No, just an idiot. And there's of course the normal system, which is basically you get a base amount of money to survive. As long as you have a good reason for your joblessness, that is. And try to, you know, do something about it. Here, take a beer. Right, I need to click the other window. Yeah, I'm pretty sure your paper didn't have anything interesting lately. Pretty sure I would remember if I read anything interesting in it. Oh boy. And that reward was... that's a bit direct, but yes. Yeah, basically it's like, you know, those shitty little magazines for older women with like the titulating like this or that star, fighting cancer, and then you read the picture and it's like, yeah, some of his distant relatives are actually doing it and he's suffering very much, you know. The ones that like to sensationalize and, well, not outright lie, but mislead. That sort of shitty nonsense. As I know, there are not that many ways that you can be clutched by the balls in pleasant ways. Mostly because whoever's clutching your balls, but not yourself, has no idea how hard to actually push before it's becoming unbearably painful. Bit of advice, never let a woman handle your balls, because, well, they don't have ones, they cannot imagine what the fuck they're doing. Which kinda lets credence to the whole idea, you know, if you want your dick act good, like let a guy do it, because he probably can do better. Sadly, that idea has never turned me on. Probably missing out there, but I'll take that. Also, some women do get some practice, to be fair, handling that particular part. This is what pretty much every big company does, if they can. They try to stay quiet and only get positive PR, and if anyone sorts shorter kinda maybe potentially could bring an article that could bring them into a bit of discredit, they will try to find a way to stop that from happening. Even if that's only semi-legal. Well, and if you're as your company, I see the point. Illegal chicken restaurants. Since when is it illegal to run it? Well, yeah, I guess it's maybe in the dystopian future this one plays in. Maybe. Well, that kinda happens, doesn't it? The best ideas. A moonblast. Yeah, it's easy enough. Do you have to though? I mean, I'm not one to talk. I'm mixing my drinks too these fine day. See, immediate instinct, I see him, go for beer. But yes, things have been getting rather heated in this game of memory serves. According to my notes, shit hit the fan. And not too blunt, Toby, not be too blunt here, but there was that thing in the bank. Terrorism, Whitenet's getting sucker punched and punching back. Mostly against the civilian population because, well, easy targets. Nope. No lithium has ever passed through this door. Oh. Blue hair, you say? Big tits, you say? He probably wanted an interview. At least he's honest. Have you seen that girl? Hot as tits. Also, hot as and tits. It's an argument. There's an argument to be made. Suffering the weirdest being hard as fucking curious as shit right now. It reminds me of better days. Sitting very, very drunk with a few very late people. Actually to the point late that we had to help close the shop because, well, the barkeeper was also so bloody shit-faced drunk it wasn't even fun anymore. And talking this shit. If you put a few men together and let them talk shit, at some point tits and ass will be a part of that conversation, believe you me. Well, I mean, you say so yourself. Maybe. Well, to be fair, Jill, you're not really counting because you're playing for the other team. You will be hard-pressed to find a man that will openly admit, being honest, under, you know, sworn to tell the truth and punished if not, that he would be having much success with your average lesbian most of the time. I mean, do some claim that they could turn them straight if you just give them a chance, but you haven't really seen it happening yet. Oh, it seems like an interesting combination then. A bit of a fetish, eh? Nope, no little whatsoever ever has stepped inside this fine establishment. I guess that's always because, you know, the pile driver. Okay. You just give him a pile driver. Literally. I like this game. Which is also the reason why I kind of wanted to finish it instead of letting it sit forever and stew and wait for the next time when I actually wake late at night and want to play it. Because recently when I was actually getting awake late at night, I was usually feeling A, shitty, B, drunk, or C, fucking tired as shit. Which means, no late night streams. And I said that one. Well then, bye bye, never come again please. Oh, we saved this one. Oh, yeah, the boss kinda gets along with everyone, doesn't she? Nice. That's a good way to pass the time, I'm assuming. Also, the news reporter woman still looks just, you know, Not if she's happy in her job. Something sweet. I know something sweet. It's the standard basic bitch drink. What was it called? Soup butter sugar rush. Why is it the easiest one? Because it basically has 3 ingredients and you can add alcohol. Have much lie to it. Not. Yeah, take something sweet. Well, I mean... Well, yeah, he was just trying to get, you know, a bit of fun for the night, basically. Good job. With your producer. I mean, I would like to point out that that is not good from a professional standpoint, because professionally speaking, if you're working together, he's your producer, you probably shouldn't do it. Because that would end with favorism to you all. Just professionally speaking, very bad. Emotionally speaking, I mean, I've seen worse combinations, honestly. In that. I mean, it's not just, you know, doctors that should not date patients. Generally speaking, if you have any sort of job that involves working with people, and you should probably try not to sleep with them overly often. Gets you emotionally attached with is usually not a good idea. That among other problems. Oh boy. Some people, I tell you. You know, I can tell you what would happen in that scenario. Maybe, you know, a bit of a rumble in the next best closed up room you find yourself in, sure. Especially after a lot of work, that can happen. A full-blown relationship, you know, that's not happening necessarily. Although we have always sucked at keeping the whole, you know, flexi times and relationship stuff away from each other. Yeah. Apart from a few minor things. Yes, things is a good way of saying it. Sounds neat. Well, I know how you feel. You know, I think one of the main reasons why I don't like to talk about things like followers and subscribers, basically, or well, anything like this, when it comes to myself, is because it sounds rather pretentious, doesn't it? Feels like it to me, honestly. I do like more that, well, I would rather prefer a sort of, you know, shop owner customer sort of relationship, because in that case I can at least, you know, have something physically in between, where it's like, okay, it's an exchange of goods for monies. It's easy enough to get behind. Sounds like I'm blowing myself out of proportion. Actually, I think no. My father would probably be that very much opinion. He's like, I live with big old Roger Sean, you Tron. Stop doing that. Well, Jill likes your music, yes, and she just bought your poster and stuff. Don't lie to me. You at one point, I remember this actually, you were so obsessed with your song Your Love is a Drug that she couldn't concentrate on work if I didn't buy it for her. That would be kinda sweet. Not just anything like tea, we're pretty sure a... What? Yes, I did. Now mix it, pretended we're making it, and boil tea. The King Glass ZH1A. What's that? DFC. Oh yeah, actually isn't Dorothy a DFC 72? My memory starts working. Probably with the help of a bit of alcohol. Yeah, actually, that is a bit of a far-away example, but something I would like to give you as an example. It's a bit like with cars. Being older has one advantage in our old cars. Old cars had many advantages, especially German old cars. And for one thing, they just never fucking broke, and when something broke, you could fix it pretty damn easily. That is an advantage, but they were basically built for function first and foremost. Sure, some people are like, well, they're just blocks on the road, but those blocks were fucking amazing at what they were supposed to be doing. Nowadays, even if it's the same manufacturer, even if it's technically speaking the same model of car, if you get the newer versions, they build a lot more around the idea of looking good. Which is a pain in the ass. They have all of those nice electronic parts. They break, but you can't do shit about it, because you actually need the... you need actually fucking software to read out the error messages and stuff before you can even start fixing shit, and it's just the tip of the iceberg. Pain in the ass. To your next contract. Oh. Nice. Yeah, that's probably a pretty damn pricey little price you got there. It's pretty cool actually. I like it. It much is actually true. I would also like to reward people's behavior, their good behavior, like listening to people and, you know, being attentive. It's why I like to go to stores that actually have employees that do that. It's actually also part of my own business policy, you know, if you're attentive with your customers, it's far easier to get them to become regulars that come back. Even if your prices might be a tad higher than the other ones, I will come back because of you. It's neat. It's very neat. Although, you know, and to some degree you kind of have to force yourself a bit, in some cases. Not every regular you have is something you like to have as a regular, but you'll take it. Believe you me, if you have responsibilities, you will. Oh, okay, that's cool. A very motivating little robot. But I always give it my own mixing drinks. After all, this will be the last time we'll be mixing drinks, because afterwards we'll be evicted. A sparkly star. The idol. Jetzt rather fitting, isn't it? They used to actually sparkle. But too many complaints about skin problems made them redesign the drink without the sparkling. Aww. Let's give it a bit of carbon just a smidge, basically. There you go. Sparkling. Well, not really. Bye-bye, little star. Well, time for a circuit break. I still remember when I did circuit breaks. Heck, I still do. I just fucking take my pipe and go out. People like, you're not really smoking, are you? No, I'm not smoking. It's not what a cigarette break is meant to be used for, though. It's not safe, this actually, because I'm gonna be evicted after this. Buy oil for the door. I'm gonna change my music. I like music. I'd buy that for $1. I'd buy for a dead $1. Damn, he seems to be a bit distracted. Well, if the boss would tell me to clean a fucking chicken bucket, I'd probably be like, maybe. Oh, should I... What was it called? I actually wrote that term down, didn't I? Yes, I did. Cat boomer. Because, you know, cat ears. A bleeding Jane. I can do this. One bleeding Jane. Oh, hello there. Till Cronus the Beat. There he is. How are you on these finest of evenings? Well, I plan to get myself evicted. At least in game. Reality has not yet caught up, luckily enough. Well, you said hi. You can go now. But out of humor drinks, I need something in my pocket. Money. Lots of money. I would like to have that sort of money in my pocket. I heard many things said about the place we are currently working at. Most actually claimed it as a pretty damn shithole, stinking of piss, but well, I guess tastes do differ after all. Meh, meh. It's one hell of a challenge, but I can't really complain much. I actually got my version of Shogun 2 reinstalled, which took amazingly long, and just wanted to do a bit of playtesting, you know, see if all things work, and I kind of got lost. And before I know it, a few more hours than I wanted had passed. And I was like, oh shit. Happens. Hey, now we can reasonably, presumably, something along this line, probably, try if our game versions actually like each other. A bit like with cats and dogs, you know? Sometimes they get along splendidly well, other times, for no good reasons, they just hate each other. It gets really clean because we had to basically completely clean the place after the dogs went wild. Jesus Christ. You are in one hell of a shitty situation. I did a quick start in one of the Rise campaigns, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember now. This is shitty. This gets shittier. I had like 2 provinces. I chased off one army due north, and by the time I came back, 2 more armies were marching on my capital, and I was like, yeah, this is totally not going to work. I defeated them once, and then another one landed, and I was like, okay, at this point, this is going to be a loss. But yeah, that happens. Oh boy. But nice music though. A bit out of it. He's cleaning a chicken bucket at this moment. Well, let's not take that person. Yeah, don't worry. Mine died pretty early on. I think during my first little try to expand a bit, he died. I didn't even realize he was dead until I was looking into his, well, his former position. I was like, okay, how did this happen? And that's when I remembered why Rise of the Samurai never was my favorite. It's so bloody fucking annoying. Like, yay, you have a bro, an AI bro, he's totally gonna help you, you know, he's shit. A gold rush. A gold rush in the city. Aha. People are strange. Just remind me though that Shogun 2 can actually be a pretty damn interesting and tense game. Quite often. I also rediscovered 2 of my mods that I like to use. That was good. I was like, oh yeah, those 2. I remember you. One of them is really one of the essential ones I really like because it deals with the fucking annoyance that is the realm divide mechanic. Which never was a good idea, doesn't make much sense. And it's just outright fucking annoying. You can deal with it, but it's just artificial difficulty spike for no good reason. Ugh. Hey. There's also a bit more mellow, it's just like, it kind of just adds like 20 more years to the campaign length, no matter what campaign you play, so you can take your time a bit more. That's true, actually. I probably would have survived longer if I had more bowmen in my army. It was like, meh, bowmen, just take like 2 units, that should be enough. Right, actually, they have the Whistler arrows and stuff. Ah, shit, I forgot about that. Really haven't played in quite a while, which is kinda, you know, itching rather harshly. Probably need a bit of more time to get used again to all of the good shit. Hmm. Well, I mean, you know, if people are looking specifically for somebody in a white knight armor suit, then being the smart lad that you probably are, would be like, they're trying to lynch me. I'm outside of my armor, they can't lynch me, or they will not lynch me because I'm not looking like that they're looking for. Isn't it a genius? Like fucking vultures. Not surprising, actually. Oh well, we'll take it. I actually have my little special treat in front of me. My glass of whiskey. A good single malt. A Highland one. After give it a those Scotch bastards, I can do a good Scotch. Surprisingly enough. Actually, I also have a local one standing around here somewhere. I do actually have that. You know, I can see it actually. Nice and looking me right in the face. Surprisingly enough, you would assume that such armor technology would already be patented. But apparently not. Oh well. Oh, look, it's Blitzkrieg. That's German. I feel validated in my ways. Yeah, what? I don't even she's embarrassed. Now I need to Google this. What is that? What does that mean? Shut up, I don't need your freaking cookies. That doesn't explain shit. Oh, stuff like that, eh? Basically the sort of... okay, so basically Power Rangers kind of style thing. Okay, that explains that. Yeah, let's not talk about it. Which means you can use the full power of their probably massively overpowered armored suits. Probably a good idea, actually, to remove such a remote control, just in case shit goes down. I kind of would like to use it properly. Good to know. Don't we all have a nice little dystopian future where things are shit? Well, I salute you. You tried your bestest, but in the end, some battles just cannot be won. Believe me. I mean, I kinda ended it when I realized how late it was, but I was pretty damn sure that I would not be able to hold on to my last province too. Yeah, you don't do shit about that any longer. You can try, but honestly, your chances weren't good. Fun fact. Oh. At least you go out with a bang. And it's actually surprisingly how willing the AI is to just throw away their troops, especially if you're in a situation where they have a huge numerical advantage. Quite often you will find that TI is absolutely not conserving its troops. It will throw them at you in the most pointlessly sacrificing ways they can. That happens quite often. Well, fight them to the last man. It can get strangely addicting in games, I know that much. Really have to watch myself, because that is one of those games, technically speaking, Total War games in general are games where I kind of find myself quite often going well over any time limit I set for myself. Because, you know, just one more turn. Come on, I can turn this around. We're just a wee bit lucky. Maybe if I save scum a bit, I can change things again. That's good. Now if you could just even the numbers a little bit, you might potentially do something. Depends highly on how your economy is looking at this point, which is probably not good. Like, yay! We have a province, we have economy! Yay, we lost the province. Our economy is shit. Imagine being one of the poor suckers who has to live under such a regime. It's like, whoa, it's a month of fulfillment, everyone gets to eat. Next month they're like, well, shit. Things are looking shitty again. Well, that's how it is with politicians. They are clowns. Most of them actually are. Honestly, if you take a politician at the word anyway, you kind of gonna screw yourself over. And of course they would. Oh, the AI. You know, just sometimes. Yes, especially if they have many wounded troops already, those tend to break relatively easily. And simple fact of life that TI is not even going to consider when putting them right up in the front of your units, that are hopefully still rather refreshed. I've actually had quite a few lucky wins like that, because the AI can be stupid, which is enjoyable. Well, dystopian future is like an amusement park. Somebody owns that shit. Yes, Henchy. Transforming heroes. Basically, you know, the Power Rangers. I know the very old Power Rangers still. Oh god, that's long ago. But it was fun. Ooh, yes, combining mega robots. That was pretty fucking cool. I know that I enjoyed that very much in my very young days. Pretty sure I had a toy from that. Pretty sure it was wooden, but it still had movable arms. I mean, and I'm assuming you're in good mood because your cat ears are wiggling a bit and they go straight upstairs. Like, straight up. Oh, she also got a ticket for that concert. Again! Hamster again! Well, that's kind of how the game works. The game doesn't really make many double appearances on screen. Some, though. Yes, she gave Jill a little ticket for the concert. Yes, yes. It also has a backstage pass. Oh, this kid lady is very happy. Very happy indeed. Oh, yes, so telling. I will miss this game. We will finish it, don't worry, today, but I will really miss this one. to a certain degree. It is a bit special, honestly. Not what I would usually recommend to play on my stream, technically speaking. A bit too little going on usually. Hey, give me a great opportunity to ramble. I'll take that every time. Yeah, but that cleared up. Also, made sure that Say didn't drink any nonsensical alcohol while she was wounded. Surprisingly enough, drinking, especially heavily, at high percentage alcohol, when your body is still trying to recuperate from every injury, that's not a good recipe. Surprisingly enough, I know. Nice, we're all group now. Well, yeah, I would assume that since your most defining characters is basically your cat ears and the fact that one of your eyes is spinning disc, basically, I would say a few glasses at the cat on the head would probably make quite a difference. Also, maybe do something about the very, I don't even know how to call this address. I don't know what it is. Curled up to high heaven and then solidified by applying what I can only assume are massive amounts of hairspray. Sort of thing. Yeah, you could probably change your looks quite easily. One of the advantages if you have a very distinct look is that you can change it rather easily, I suppose. A classic drink. What do I have in my classic drink archive? Oh, a beer. I mean, I'm a German. If it's an option, I will give you a beer. Even in the far distant future, when things are, well, probably synthetic as fuck, I'll give you a freaking beer. And rich people. They have servants at the house. I would like a servant at my house. That would, well, probably help with my dietary habits. My cooking arsenal is not the greatest. To be fair. Why would somebody working as a gardener, who then studies engineering, come back and work as that again, I suppose? Why though? I mean, maybe gardening is just his hobby? I mean, I can understand coming back and being like, okay, I have a degree now in engineering. Do you have a job that I can do with that here? Because I would like to work for you. That's something I could understand. Hey, Jill, you're making a good point there. Yes, it should be patented. Who the fuck would bring out a massive... I mean, if I were to develop a massive fucking cool armor suit, I'd be patenting the hell and the shit out of that, because I would not want anyone to steal my shit. Why isn't it? I mean, I guess it kinda depends. If you patent something, then you kinda have to give some information about it away, I suppose. But still, that's one major risk, though. If somebody gets their hand on one of your things, and they reverse engineer it, they can just claim it as their own, and then patent that shit. Nice. A victory is a victory is a victory! Now, take back what you have lost, young Kronos. The journey is a long one, but you need to defeat all of Japan. You have to pretend... Pretend? No? I'm looking for another word. My brain is just in the clouds, apparently. You have to prevent. Yes, prevent them from becoming dweebs. They are obviously gonna turn out to. Nice. destroy them and their weep ways before, you know, they end up making games that look like what I'm playing right now. On the other side of the argument, please don't. I do enjoy some of those. And I'll be missing them. I mean, I guess I wouldn't because I would know them, but still, would leave a hole in my heart. Also, I know a certain somebody who would get pretty damn annoyed with that, I suppose. What a nice summary of the situation. So the ones that were upholding the law did so using suits that are by all means illegal. Yes. That's a bit of an irony, but then again a very understandable irony though. If what gives you your greatest advantage is illegal, that's one thing, but if you can use it and abuse it for your goals, you will still do so. And if your goal is to uphold the law, well, then you have created a nice bit of irony right then and there. Well, no, when you have so much money, like a big corporation in this dystopian future, you're not just thinking about screwing around with the rules, you will screw around with the rules to your own benefit. What is a company when you break it down? A company is a construct that exists first and foremost to generate the most amount of money it can get away with. That's my deal. Of course, it's the people that actually lead the company that kinda shape the way that is happening. And some will actually take some, you know, social responsibilities. But at its heart, it's still just a construct that exists to make money. Let's not forget that. And quite often the best way to make the most money is not necessarily compliant with, well, the laws in general, or morality. Or, you know, anything else we put usually in the way of misbehavior. Wow, what an obvious statement. We all have done things we regret? Yes. Embarrassing things most of the time. And the next one. Who needs money? Well, okay, let me take a look at my little purse thingy. How much money do I have? Well, I have, for the rest of this month, like 20 euro to offer. Would that be enough? But I'm assuming you're asking about the rice money. Well... I don't actually know, but has Shogun mechanics where you can let your... Oh no, I think that's actually something that I had in Three Kingdoms with that one bandit group, where you can just sit your army down and let them plunder shit to get money. I don't think Shogun had that. At least I don't remember off the top of my head. Jesus Christ. I must really play a bit more. Also, this is a very Japanese statement, because they too are very much adherent to the whole idea of, you know, keeping up the form. First a greeting stop, then saying please and thanks stops, and before you know it, boom, total anarchy. I don't think humanity will degrade that much that quickly, but well, you know. Okay. Once upon a midnight reverie, when I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore. I nodded, nearly napping. Suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis a visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. "Only this and nothing more." Told the bartender, I did not. Actually, I brought something like this to it, so that I was like, quote the shopkeeper. No. Very important little lesson. You need to say no sometimes. Especially to customers, especially the customers who start like, I want to talk to the next in line, to the manager. So, I will go back inside my little back room, come out again and be like, hello, I'm the manager. Man, I want to talk to the owner. This is preposterous. How can you treat me like this? I'm a paying customer. Going back inside again. Coming out of the back room again. Hello, I'm the owner too. Yeah, probably your armies are eating you at this point. Quite literally. I would say try to go for a white piece or something. But that could be a bit difficult, I am assuming. A face for poetry. I mean, thanks to the school system around here, I had to at some point read part of Faust from Goethe. I must admit that, as far as things go, the guy's a pretty damn decent writer, actually. That's cool stories. Yes, more alcohol. More alcohol! Once again, repeat my earlier statement, no one to drink, especially not too much. It's not gonna sit well with you. Shadowmaster 69's Chronicles. That sounds like a porn collection. I mean, honestly. That are a very edgy team. Good. Oh boy. Oh Jill, you poor innocent little soul. That's actually I think that was the most final warning that I got from the tech boy when he was finishing setting everything. I was like, okay, you wanna stream shit? Cool. Remember just one important rule. Everything and anything you put on the internet will stay on the internet forever. Just make sure you understand that simple basic rule. I was like, okay, I get it. Probably not a good idea to, name the current details for my business account. Probably not good. But yes, generally speaking, you should probably not put things up that you're not comfortable with. And even then, there's lots of potential for people to just pick the parts they don't like and make sure that everybody else sees them. There's potential there. A beloved move from politics too. Just take one statement of the enemy you don't like and go like, yeah, this is his whole person now. It's always a good statement like, yeah, we all were young ones. It's a good thing that you aren't like that any longer. Wait, you're not, are you? The sins of the past. I think we all have them to some degree, to be fair. All the young ones, we all did stupid things. I was recently nicely reminded of that because while I was randomly meeting a friend who came to my store and we talked a bit, and then I went over to his parents later on because, you know, he needed some help picking up some things, and we looked through old photo albums and there were old photos of us, and we were like, yeah, that's something. Long hair, long flowing hair, mind you, and leather jacket, combat boots. Man, I look ridiculously different nowadays. But hey, fun it does. Yes, please don't run background checks on people just because you're bored. That is not nice. Oh shit, now I feel like I need to change my email address. Respectable goal. Life goals in middle school. Kiss all the boys. Almost achieved that. That's a statement. Isn't it nice? I do think there are some mods that play around a bit more with the AI and their generous ways of declaring wars on the basically the drop of a hat. I might want to check some of those. And especially even if you play the game, you know, like normal, and to play it until, you know, you get close to it, then the fucking random fight happens. But I hate that so much. Sure, of course. My allied nation that I have been friends with since the start of the fucking game. We have been allied for decades at this point. Sure, he's gonna betray me. For no fucking reason. It's not that he's going to get massive profits if I'm the one winning. Damn that mechanic. Never really liked that one. It gets to ya. It really gets to ya. Actually, a good question. Why the 69? Oh god, the tarot cards, eh? It's gay as fuck. To some degree. Oh, that's edgy. It's really edgy teenager nonsense. You know, especially not in the days of the internet, nobody would read a 69 as a 69. Why the fuck would we? Wouldn't be nearly as fun. Okay, to be fair, she was 12 at the time. That's probably a bit too early to be fully introducing this. Actually, I'm a late bloomer when it comes to fucking internet things. But every time I learn something new, it's like, oh, this is fun. Amuses me greatly. Did I know at 12 what 69 was meant to mean? At age 12. Oh god, that's a long, long time ago. Not really, actually. I don't think we had... Did we have internet at that point? Maybe we had it for the bug PC of one of my parents, maybe? Nah, I don't think I would have known. Maybe I would have. I don't want to swear on that one. A sugar rush. That's something I can make easily now. But Jesus Christ, that's a... It's far too long ago. I don't want to think about it because it reminds me that I'm old. No. I'll take it. Being old has its advantages. I can relatively secure pet in, well, any sort of garden and scream at passerby in the younger generation go like, meh, get off my lawn. I would actually probably make that rather believable even. Quite a change in tone. I guess, why not? Long-lasting relationships, eh? That's an easy one. I have an ex-boy. That's a long-lasting relationship. Yeah, to some degree, since we still have a term for it, it's still going on in a very bad way. I can feel the warmth of alcohol spreading through my body. That's a very good thing. Whiskey, such a fine invention of humanity. In moderation, mind you. Well, hedge sucks. People cheating on you, not nice. At least have the decency, and that has always been my personal golden rule. If you wanna, you know, have some smexy times with somebody while you're in a relationship, at least have the decency to break off the relationship and then do the smexy times. Works pretty well for me. Nothing to feel guilty about. But keep the fucker is probably a good reaction to that particular nonsense. I mean, I get that it's not really funny to punch people in the arm, but that seems a bit little for a reason to break up with people. Okay, seems to have escalated quickly. Marriage after half a year. Debatable. Debatable. Well, to be fair, your family seems interesting. At least one of his sisters seems to be a bit of a problem child. Oh yeah, that's a typical statement I've heard many a woman make in regards to the boyfriends. I can change him. No, you can't. You really can't. That's a nice illusion you have there. Oh. But yeah, if you don't have actually time to, you know, recuperate your units, sooner or later you will find yourself at a very nasty end. But then again, it's not like you... if you still have 2 provinces, you can probably run away a bit. Let them have the last province and try to keep your armies a bit up. Maybe. Not ideal though. And let's put it mildly. Not a good strategy though. Because that is going to fuck your economy even worse. Oh, a beer. Beer is nice. Beer. The fact that I can mix beer in this game is one hell of a nice thing. Speaks to my poor little German soul. What? Implants into your boobs? Like, yes, in honor of just me, let's say the following about my impressive tits. They're real and they're spectacular. And why the fuck are you wearing a shirt that doesn't show anything, woman? That's getting to me. Oh boy. Oh yeah, right, actually you have the prosthetic arms, I suppose. I guess it would still be a prosthetic, even if it's, you know, fully movable and shit. Okay, even the severe case of carpal tunnel syndrome usually is no reason to chopping off your freaking hands. To put it mildly. The future is scary. People chopping their limbs off for computer upgrades, basically. Do you miss your hands? Damn. Let's serve the purpose then. Jesus Christ. Yeah, the start in Rise of the Samurai. Even just replaying it for once really isn't generous. Especially because, well, you're always a bit pressed for time anyway, because, well, even if you play a short campaign, you kind of want to get going. Do look at that one mod that actually, you know, prolongs it so that you can take it in a bit more time when you get started to build up a bit more. It just enhances the campaign length by, I think it was 20 years. I need to look it up again, but I have it written down somewhere, so that I don't lose it. It might actually help you a bit. But apart from that, yeah, it's just... it's a combination of being very much lucky and very much getting away with some nonsense. Ah, excuse me. Something tried to crawl up of my throat. Yeah, that's one hell of a death situation. It's like, yeah, you are wearing the hand of my daughter. Could you maybe give that back? I'm pretty sure you're on the wrong channel. I mean, I am chilling. That's a very... yeah. Yeah, statement. Yeah, happens to me too sometimes. Don't worry about it. Technically, you didn't. That's just your first name. That's your last name. Oh, look, it's the ghost woman. Who just appears randomly. Surprisingly often when big boobs woman is in the window, though. I see a certain... Oh. Nanomachines. Nanomachines indeed. Oh, well. She says like no ghost exists while the ghost sits right behind her looking smug like, I don't exist, huh? Disappeared. Hey, don't blame me. You're the one claiming to be crazy. And then time to get evicted most profound. And interesting indeed. Indeed. Ouch. That's also a comparison I have not yet before. Wrestling is as real as soap opera. Well, that's a statement. Don't tell it to the fans though, they probably don't like that. Well, the comparison to a show is probably rather, yeah, just a very unique sort of show that goes very much towards the more base instincts of humans. Like fighting. That's one hell of a base instinct we have. Poor Gil. We are a fuckboy. And his back was broken. Well, he had a nice life. We'll take it good. And then we should definitely not have enough money to get through the rent, which means we should be evicted. Please vacate the place by February or discuss a renewal with your landlord. Rather we don't get the ending immediately, that's kinda annoying. Oh well. It's too late anyway, we can probably just buy shit. No, we can't. Isn't it pretty damn pointless to go to work when you know that you're basically done? You should assume so, but no, the game's like, no, play, continue. But aren't they humming a song now is a crime. Interesting. I'll take it. I'll take it. No, seriously, did you fuck? Ah. I do know that many people use the word, love as a bit of a, euphemism for the good old fucky-fucky, but I need to be that direct about it. It's not true. Men don't only get fucking happy after they're fucked. They will get happy after it, mind you, but they can get happy for other things too. Fucking happy. I've seen a grown-ass man squeal like a freaking little girl over a freaking toy train thingy. Quite impressive, actually. And now the woman has decided that he has fucked. Poor Gil. I think you will win this. Oh god. It's streaming channel. I forgot about that existence. That breaks it. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. She's back. I mean, now I can go against again and be like, hey, my premium. Said they don't think my poor little thingies offer some premium services to anyone. At least not that I'm aware of. That would be kinda strange. Very strange. Jesus Christ, the next one looks at him and goes like, ah, that guy just totally bugged. Okay. Yukito runs away. And shoot it away. Okay. You again. She's not here, but she's making noise. And it validates a point, isn't it? And if being right means you get a beer, then I hope I will be right many, many more times in my life. Beer. Rabban. Take a beer. Why would you be that focused on that particular point? Like, does it really matter if you're right or wrong in this particular regard? Yes, he doesn't seem particularly happy or amused by that. Poor Gil. Yes, how? How the fuck does he make it so obvious? Passiver sowie non-alcoholic bar. To be fair, that is kinda rude. In some ways. Bloom light. I do like the music though. Rather relaxing, isn't it? I think I will actually look for the soundtracks and use it while I slaughter some Japanese next time. Or maybe some Chinese actually. Aged on the rocks and mixed. And something non-alcoholic. Why not a blue fairy? Sounds fitting, doesn't it? Oh, look at Edge, little Kronos. He's recovering. Sometimes being, stubborn does work out in your favor. I'm just gonna say. Aside from Veronica, there's Angela, Pamela, Sandra, Rita, Monica, Erica, Tina, Mary, and Jessica. I could be wrong here, but isn't that the Mambo number 5? Well, shit. Oh, that's some pet names. Ginger the Bed Sheets, Smells Like a Pig, Cold Feet, Shampoo Waster, Chocolate Addict. Too Religious, and of the Wrong Rugby Team, Teetola, and Shoes with the Mouth Open. Wow, that's a name list. McGill is still being busy happy. Yay! No, and Pinky's in Cloud 9 because of the fucking... That still sounds bad. Jesus, is there no good way of saying this? I mean, he's on fucking Cloud 9, brings it to the point, but it's kinda missing the point also. Also, I can see you sneaking, the streaming thingy. Ah, nothing but a nice cold beer. Makes a German this bloody fucking happy. I mean, it looks a bit strange, but well, apart from that, maybe that's to your liking. Who knows? We live in weird times. Never before have I heard a more truer statement for basically every bloody time that one can be alive in. Interesting, isn't it? I'm really wondering how that turns out for the little Cronus. Will he be able to survive? Questions. Very important questions. For his future. Piano man with a piano woman. I mean, okay. I'll probably do those. On the rocks next. And the next one. Jesus Christ, that has many ingredients though. Itchy Lodge. Bam. Oh. Nice. New allies usually means more trade. More trade. Trade is one of the, well, best incomes you can have, actually. That could actually turn things around. Could. Depends on how much of your army is left to actually defend what you have left, because, well, if they join your war, that's good and all, but they can be somewhat slow in moving their troops. I'm interested. Keep me updated. Sounds like a very interesting game. A very interesting game indeed. Jesus Christ, that turned to jealousy suddenly. That's not a fucking compliment. But, well, okay. Interesting. My first beer is going down. Depends on how long I can go without an attack. Oh boy. I mean, if there's one thing you can usually count upon the most glorious of Total War AIs, it's that it is aggressive to the point of being stupid about it. Mostly. I mean, they will quite literally ship fucking armies across half the world in order to fuck with you, even if they can't afford it. Oh great, a rebellion and a fun. I mean, that sometimes works out pretty damn well. Sometimes. Maybe they crash into each other. That would be the best result. Oh boy. Right, there's the New Year party. Not much to celebrate about it because, well, we're getting evicted from our home as soon as it is over. But, well, eh. To be fair, I kind of forced this situation. And there she is again. And she invites herself to the party. Well, now she excuses herself. Interesting. We'll take it. Isn't there some sort of law against filming people unwillingly? Maybe the distant future looks different. Maybe, just maybe. Throw more drinks are pretty nasty. A Grizzly Temple, yes. That should be right up your alley. If you want something only a true fan would drink. Here you go. It must bath time. That's one hell of a comment. Hopefully I will never have to read a comment that will go like, we have a camera in my home. That's scaring me. It's really either end of the spectrum with you, isn't it, little Kronos? One time it's like, yay, I have allies, I have money, I have all the things. The next I hear is like, oh, I'm bankrupt. Jesus Christ, what a jumping. Really goes up and down, eh? No, that does definitely make it sound like a very interesting campaign you have there. I have to give you that much. Jesus Christ, she's a theme song. Why don't I have a theme song? Alright, because I would need to pay an artist to make one. I mean, you know, I'm not shying away from any sort of challenge, normally. Like, you know, playing around with a few pictures to make a thumbnail? Sure, I can get behind it. Playing around with a bit of video editing to make a little intro just for fun? Okay, I can get behind that. But making my own theme song? There are many things I'm good at. I don't consider singing to be amongst those skills, let alone playing any sort of, you know, instrument. Oh. Well, then don't abuse your poor little army too much if it's the only thing that keeps you going. As a bit of a counterpoint to that, wouldn't it also be the case because you have one army that's really high upkeep that you can't have multiple armies of lesser units? That maybe would give you more numbers, not necessarily good in the actual battles, but very good at keeping the enemy eye from declaring freaking wars on you all the time. It's a bit of a back and forth, I'd say. Magic. Yeah, magic is always the answer. Video editing magic. That's a high art of magic. It's a very good question. Where are the freaking dogs? Pretty sure this particular establishment, or hole in the wall, has not done any sort of advertising in the first place, so you can't claim fake advertising. I mean, that's what you usually do. Usually you have some 2 or 3 or 4 units of very cheap nonsense things just to keep the towns under control. But if you push those numbers a bit, you will at least look more threatening. Which sometimes actually makes the AI a bit more hesitant in declaring war on you, basically. Because the good armies, the ones that you actually want to use for attack, those cost an arm and a leg at the very least to uphold. I know that. Oh, it's been a problem. Like the difference between using militia units and actual, you know, line infantry units. Sure, the militia units shoot too, but they ain't gonna hold the line, or will they? But they make very good guard units because they cost, well, basically nothing to make. Ah, shit, yeah. Honestly, at this point, you can just basically hope for a bit of a lucky break and go from there, basically. Seems to be really, no, edge of your seat kind of match, where you really have to keep paying attention. Just make it fun, though. I do like I get the live review of what's going on, though. That's kind of cute. It entertains me greatly. Also, it makes me think about two things while trying to drink a beer, which slows down my alcohol intake. Not a bad state, honestly. And I will have to get up and get the next one, though, in a bit. Just a little bit in it. Ah, stories, eh? The ghost appears and it's like, it's a big fat light, you know it. Yes, that. What could save your bacon? Do tell. Is it money again? I'm pretty sure the amount of money I have is not multiplied much since last time. Oh, a human partner. Well, actually, yes, when this is over and it's not too late, potentially we could actually see if our games do like each other, and then we could start setting that up, you know? Like a bit of a test game to see if it's actually working, and then do something like that. I should at least be able to assist you somewhat better than the AI. Although to be fair, I promise nothing. I have made some very stupid choices in Total War games sometimes, like, Jesus Christ. The boss is interjecting. Oh right, actually, the boss took a pic with her, didn't she? Well, I mean, you know, I put a literal star. Yeah, that's a good. And you're one of the few ones. I mean, to be fair, you are kinda missing the comparison to Fall of the Samurai. Which I guess would be like, if I had to give an example from my own experience, a bit like playing Shogun 2 in vanilla. It will be like, oh yeah, I'm enjoying this very much, but then you play Fall and you look back like, wasn't that great, was it? Also, you miss a lot of cool things. Like actual battlefield bombardment. See, if I have my little ships at the shore and I fight at the shore, I can actually bombard the battlefield with my ships. Oh, that's a very much revolutionary idea, I know. Why couldn't you do that before? That's an amazing idea. Using it to bombard castles that are built near to the shore. Great. They do. I think the mostly advanced units are stuff like warrior monks and something like this, yeah? I think there isn't much else actually. You have your usual Ashigaru troops, basically. You have your samurai units, usually, in multiple variants, and then I think some actually have the warrior monk things. It kinda is. Although, you know, it's kinda like, at that time, wouldn't people, technically speaking, at least have some basic siege weaponry available to them? I mean, come on, if you play Medieval 2, you have at least, you know, a catapult or something. A ballista. Anything. That gives you a bit more range advantage. And you play like 2v2 and you're sitting there like, oh. Although to be fair, I never really overused artillery much. You can do some horrible things with it though. But it does make an interesting game for a while. Although, you know, after just playing a short little round of it, I was already like, yeah, I miss my garbage boats. They're cute. Well, I now got the number of streaming charm. That's much is true, actually. I mean, some are somewhat accurate if you take the whole of the areas they're trying to display to some degree, but you can't take the exact year dates for full because sometimes you end up with rather inappropriate weaponry, to be fair. Well, you know, it's called medieval. I can forgive them for giving me all things that would still technically fall in the medieval era. I mean, siege weapons are by themselves not a new concept. I mean, even the bloody freaking ancient Romans had some idea of how to make that. Well, no, just in game, don't worry. Pretty damn hard to get evicted around here. Luckily enough for me. See, a little character's like evicted. Holy shit, that's a new low for me. Don't worry. If something like this were happening, I would have a lot of, well, things to do that actually have nothing to do with gaming. What does it for that? What was I about to make for her? Shit, I did not actually listen. I think something girly. Sugar Rush? I think. I got distracted rambling about, you know, apple sugar vegetables. Here, take that. Yeah, not yet. I mean, technically speaking, I am basically on the limit, but that's not really a problem. First and foremost, the company itself goes bankrupt. That's not much of a problem. Then I can file for bankruptcy, which is going to bind me to it, because of the firm form we have. But that's not too much of a problem. It just would mean that the next 10 years I basically wouldn't be allowed to make money in any reasonable fashion. That still wouldn't necessarily lead to me getting evicted, although there is a bit of talk about some new person trying to buy the building, so maybe. Indeed. So basically, since there's still also a bit of a social system that would catch me, well, it would at least pay the bills for rent, I wouldn't get, you know, evicted that easily, luckily enough, but still. Not completely impossible, because when there are some special laws when you actually buy a place. It's there's turns out that you can make some special ruling where you take it over yourself. It's possible, but rarely does it happen. Why would you evict somebody who's paying their rent all the time without complaining, without ever being a day late? Well, it's basically the social economic system we have here. It's basically trying to balance both things a bit, which is difficult. A social market, basically, is the idea. Of course, that comes along with, you know, for example, quite a bit of taxation. On one hand. Well, you know, it all has its pros and cons, but it is helpful, especially if you are without fault falling into a situation where you do need help to keep afloat. Well, that's actually the interesting part, because, well, if you ask anyone on the more economic side... Ah, yeah, sure, do that. I also need to get myself another beer. Well, Ghost, disappear, please. Yes, I would actually know who Fuckboy's partner was. Yeah. Don't tease me, little ghost girl. That's not nice of you. Tick, tick, tick. She's indeed making lots of faces. That much is true indeed. See, it's been the oldest conflict ever here, where basically the economic side, the business themselves say, if we have to pay that much in taxes, how are you supposed to that we grow? While the social side of things is like, yes, and if we let you grow without any of that, people will get, you know, ever poorer, which leads to more debt, which means less buying power, which means that you will earn less money in the long run. I mean, the system works. Barely. As all with the whole pension system, which is breaking down ever more because it's just not paying for itself any longer, but, well, that's going to come crashing down at some point. Or the state will have to go into massive amounts of debt to actually recuperate, which the state does sometimes do. And will do continuously for a certain amount of time until it finally breaks, and then we'll be back at square one and having to decide what to fucking do. Ah, boy. Honestly, I don't think there's any true answer to a good system that just works. I haven't seen one yet, at the very least. As far as I know, for most countries that is much the truth. Dutch oil. Oh yeah, I kind of saw a headline about that. Didn't read yet, but sounded interesting. I knew that Germany right now is very much having a bit of a problem with oil and gas of Russian nature. But the sort of politics I really don't want to get my nose into because, well, fuck that shit. Real good. Ah. Yeah, I think actually any sort of oil and gas that is not already under Russia. Oh, you forgot to post the battle. Yeah, that... charitable. That one glorious reminder why people should not use atomic power. I get it, it's a good warning sign, but still, you know. Oh, that can happen, yes. That's the same thing actually happening right here with the whole, what's it called, the other gas. I forgot his name. That we're trying to, you know, force in order to get a bit more away from the Russian alternatives. Basically, they're building terminals for all of that shit, like, you know. Normally that's a pain in the ass to do around here because the sort of requirements that you need from the government side are massively, and just the amount of testing and paperwork you have to do, that you then have to get approved, that you then have to approve again, the other way around is, you know, a lot of work. They're shortening that process down to basically nothing because they want to get that done. That is dangerous though. Very dangerous even. Because that also means that a lot of the safety precautions that you would usually have to go through in order to determine if that is okay to start using will probably just get skipped. It's like we did not ever learn anything from Chernobyl. Yeah, that's actually probably. On one hand, everybody's like, we need to rush this, we need to rush this, we need to basically have it done yesterday. And that means that they actually now put it into law that we can skip all of the nonsense. Great. Not totally gonna backfire a few years down the line. I mean, I'm assuming they would be relatively high considering what sort of material you are working with. Heck, imagine trying to work as a freaking engineer on one of those plants. I would assume that the requirements are a bit higher and the background check would be a bit more intense than, you know, your average run-of-the-mill guy. That is indeed true. But as I said, even then, you should at least consider going through the proper procedures, no matter what sort of solution you're trying to achieve. I mean, the fact that they even considered for a moment to actually reactivate some of the old atomic facilities was neat to me. Because that would take an S-load longer than you would assume. Not because of technical difficulties, mind you, yet those are not a problem, no. The sheer amount of paperwork. Yeah, I would imagine so. And of course, you should, when you work with things that is potentially a risk or that is very, very important to the state, like, you know, energy, which the state needs in high quantities to keep things going, then we should probably have an S-load of regulations concerning that, for good reason. Just skip a huge amount of those. Not a fan. I get that they feel pressured, yes, I get it, but still, you know, shooting from the hip basically in such matters is never really a good idea. Never ever. Bit of a difficult thing. I just hope that nothing blows up. Let's say it like this. Hopes and prayers and all of the good things. Also, to be completely fair, I'm also very happy that I'm not the one needing to make such decisions because, well, that is probably an S-load of pressure too, in its own way. Oh, come on, he's not a weird loner, he's just a loner, normally. And he's not in happy afterfuck mode, apparently. Yeah, that's true for the nuclear option, but that's also true for any other option. Like, you know, technically speaking, a gas pipeline is not that dangerous all of its own. Shit can still happen. If you have a station or you have a tank where you store that shit in massive quantities, I imagine something going wrong there. Same with oil. Same with coal, actually. Which is amazing, because at some point Germany actually could very much provide for, well, most of itself with its own coal. And we stop mining that shit. That kinda bites us in the ass now. Didn't we only research? Energy. I mean, it did it nice. Actually, it did a reasonably slow and small little boom, and then it got quite literally shut off from the world. Which is still standing and still radiating shit all over the fucking place. Which is why I found it amazing that anyone would actually still, you know, go there without a very, very good reason, like making sure the things stay normal. Well, apart from that, I wouldn't set foot in that area. And on we go. Nice music. Oh, it's a little robot. Again, the other one. Sounds like the sort of thing where it's like, yes, in hindsight we know better, but back then we had other things in mind, and that's a problem. Projects of that size, which are usually, you know, having the state involved, are also, of course, prestige objects and prestige builds, and that complicates things a lot. Which is also the reason why, you know, I don't trust a private company to build shit, because, well, they will do it in the idea of profit, but I also don't trust the state completely to build shit reasonably safe, because, well, I mean, technically speaking, the state is still responsible for streets. If I don't get the streets around here, I'm kinda like, yes, money well spent. Hard to say, honestly. Generally speaking, I don't try to give too much of an idea about the whole conspiracy this, conspiracy that thing. Some of them might actually be true, of course, but We'll never actually know. The ones involved potentially will make them well sure that you do not know. So, speculating is all we can do. At the CIA, and not only the CIA, mind you, but most of the rather secretive organizations that are around have done probably a shitload of things. Is pretty much what you would expect. You want a gut punch? Since when do you want a freaking gut punch? Sounds always wrong when you say it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could ask any person from every bloody country in the world about, you know, the state and spending your money well. And they'd be like, spending money well? Are you crazy? Oh, it started so good too. It's like, okay, paying taxes. I pay taxes so that some public facilities are around, so that, you know, the fire department is a thing, so that the police is a thing. That is great. So that my streets will actually, you know, be streets I can actually drive on without ruining my freaking tires all the time. Or scraping the bottom of my car over it. Great. And then bureaucracy happens. Oh boy. That's a great thing. Again, some sort of bureaucracy will always be around because the administration needs power to do things, but yeah, no. It's maybe been going a bit too big. Well, yes. First flavors, indeed, that we would taste would be sour and bitter. That's a defense mechanism, so that we can, you know, identify food that's probably not good. Well, that's one of those projects where it's like, okay, I'm pretty sure I didn't pay taxes for that, specifically, but the state will still decide to do it, and you'll be sitting there like, okay, that's great, I'd rather you invest that in a nice little pension fund for, you know, people that actually would need help, when they grow old and can't work any longer and they don't have enough fucking money to even just afford food. Yeah, probably a better investment, but hell well, what do I know? Strange, isn't it? Strange, isn't it? It started so good and it went so horribly, interestingly in the wrong direction. Well. Oh, right, yes. Well, there's one thing I found rather interesting because it's like, didn't the rest of the world learn anything from Germany's example of why emergency measures are not a good thing if they can be, well, used and abused? I mean, how the fuck do the rest of the world actually think that, you know, a certain Austrian, it's better, painter actually got that fucking far in, you know, bringing Germany to a very, very bad direction by using emergency measures that were in place. As if that would ever have passed through Parliament, you know. Yes, you just need to make very damn well sure that those are very, very limited and do not actually allow you to fucking mess around with. Also, as far as I'm aware, Rome is not really a major power play any longer, so at some point, you know, I kinda lost it. Well, a robot has realized it is a real thing. That's good. Very important part of consciousness is realizing that, well, shit is there. Yes, that's the danger. If your government has a procedure where you can use emergency measures, you can find ways to make use of them, even, you know, if the emergency you proclaim is not nearly as much of an emergency as you would like the other side to believe. The problem: determining what is an emergency and what rights you should use of that. Not really a good idea. Dangerous even. And you would assume, to some degree, that the rest of the world would look at Germany's example and go like, hey, maybe not a good idea to have that around, you know, with so little conditions attached to it. Well, yes, he quite literally did. He made himself quite literally the dictator of Rome. Rome changed quite often actually in its time from a, well, republic to a kingdom and back to a republic. Yeah, it sounds like a very good idea. I'm sure the angry peasants outside will be willing to listen to your complaints. I might lynch you for it, but oh well. Who are we to say? Who are we to say? Oh yeah, it's kind of what making the so-called AI so boring. It's like, yay, they are thinking. No, they're not. They truly are not thinking. Yeah, it's like sci-fi fans go like, spaceships. Spaceships. Politics. Look at history, go like, not good idea, do something about it. Don't just let it sit in place. Oh, the philosophical question of the hour then. I just realized. I have wondered myself what the fuck this game is. That basically reading a lot of text. And is a dictatorship inherently bad? Oh boy. Well, since to some degree any sort of kingdom is a dictatorship, even though the king claims to be, you know, put in his place by God, not inherently. The problem usually comes around once, you know, the whole inheriting things come into place. You can have a good king, rule good and wise for all his life, but his son can still be a complete asshole and incompetent. So while not all dictatorships are inherently bad if you take all of them under your umbrella, they will become bad over time. Only, you know, so much life in one person. Still, I would prefer a more democratic one. Well, yes, but to be completely fair, the mob is easily, you know, controlled. The mob's opinion can also easily be controlled. That's part of the problem, actually. Give them something to fear, and you will find, if you are the one who's like, I'm gonna defend you against that, to be more than willing to listen to you. Especially if you can actually bring them some nice example of, look, this is what those barbarians do to our people. We need to defend them now, and I'm the only one who can do it. I need your support. How many people would be willing to take the risk to not follow? Yes, that's actually one of the inherent flaws of democracy. Technically speaking, we could, or should be able to vote ourselves out of democracy. Which of course is something we avoid. Or basically, any democracy swears to itself, in its most fundamental laws, that it will never stop being a democracy. Which means we all have a system where we can only vote on a parliament instead of actually a leader. We have, for example, a direct mandate system here where we can directly vote people into parliament with our voices, yes. But we cannot vote them, for example, into the highest position of president or chancellor. There's a good reason for that, because otherwise democracy would fail pretty fucking soonish, because then it would just be a popularity contest at the end, where one person wins and rules above all. Also, we can ignore these smaller voices. My god, you need to represent the whole of the nation, which means also the smaller parties should have a chance. But I do think America's pretty damn interesting on that regard, because you have a dual party system, don't you, with the Republicans and the Democrats, didn't you? Yeah, it's a bit different from ours, isn't it? And I have to remind myself of that. Mom decided to meet with the mother of her daughter's girlfriend. That's one hell of a sentence. Jesus Christ. That seems like a very bad spiral. Yeah, but trying to apply that to one of our modern democracies would probably be a pain in the ass, honestly. I mean, you can see some advantages to such a simplified system, don't get me wrong. I mean, there's a reason why we're not doing it anymore. I always really like when people are like, well, yes, but the Greeks invented democracy. Yes, a very, very limited amount of democracies they did indeed use. Don't forget the Bussi. Schlagen laut und selbst im Bussi. But you know, Greek democracy was very limited in its scope. Only the select few get democracy. Boom, you exploded. Look at it. The little robot exploded. That's back to normal. It's like, you know, Dorsey.exe has stopped working. Do you want to wait for it to work? Yes, I think actually the parliamentary-based democracy we have nowadays, in its idea, is most definitely the best way to go. Any else system will be making it a lot easier to abuse. Let's just say it like this. And there she is again. Blowing up shit. I mean, I guess technically you can call her a can girl, but let's not go there. Actually, we just had votes here. The state vote around here last Sunday. And even though I can't say that my party, my preferred party, did particularly well, I don't care. And as far as I'm aware, the party I'm voted for also didn't care overly much. It was like, nah, kind of what we expected. But yes, some outside rare groups on the sideline of the outer fringe of the political sphere do tend to take it personally when they don't get the votes. Which makes it all the more obvious that you should vote for them, if you ask me. I like it. There's a system that continuously punishes everyone involved in it. And rewards people for the fucking flimsiest of reasons sometimes. Makes it fun though. Also, some inter-party nonsense that's going on behind, you know, closed doors is but amusing sometimes. Oh, they take it so fucking personally sometimes. Which, of course, is great. Bah, 10. There. I want a sugar rush. You get yourself a sugar rush. Yeah, I'm quite happy that most of the world, huge space of the world, have at this point realized that democracy is a good thing. Even though the exact form that particular democracy takes can kinda vary quite a bit. I do remember the first time when I well, very much years and years and years and years ago, we got some news of the American elections. I don't even know which one it was, actually. Jesus Christ, it must be a long time ago. It was like, what the fuck is going on there? What the fuck are they doing? How is that working? That's not the system. And then I had my dearest of fat bears explain to me that not only the Americans, you know, being the strange little beings they are, use a different system. A very different system from ours. That's kind of interesting, right? Eye-opening. Especially when they didn't realize that even the, you know, our next neighbors, the French, the British, they do have, well, the same democracy system, but their voting system's still different. Even the fucking Netherlands have a different system from ours. Really interesting. Everybody seems to have a particular idea of how that should work. And, well, who can say what's the right one? I'm at least very happy that after the whole biomarker nonsense, we actually started having a bit of a border for things. Like a 5% mark before you can actually get into any ruling position. Very good idea that one was. Also, streaming channel. Well, that makes it easy. Look at that, she's just an attention whore at the end of the day. She's just going after the view numbers. How saddening it is. Can't be all you do. Need her more. Substance? Yes, let's go with substance. Substance is a good word for it. Also, my bloody freaking beer is empty and I need to refill that empty place at my side relatively quickly. I should also probably use the time to go, you know, to the toilet and get rid of the last of the beer inside me. That's an interesting case of a contract annulation. Well, he went over and he had the contract with him and well, apparently he got a bit too excited with the VR model and the contract became unreadable. I mean, you know, any professional will tell you that you are supposed to be keeping your, you know, fun times and your professional times well and truly outside of each other's range, for good reason. Yeah, I didn't want it to get that graphic game, but thanks for reminding me that he apparently cut the contract into a pair of panties and rubbed it people use over his fun bits. I'm assuming, probably more dangly bits actually. In this particular case. Business person thing. That sounds very professional. That's good. Yeah, ouch. That was an actual contract made of paper. That would hurt like fucking hell. Why even game? That is a picture in my head that... I mean, you know, we all know that the paper got hurt. Now imagine having the paper cut on your dangly bits. Ouch. Okay, not a picture I would like to have in my head, but thanks game, I have it now. How would a crazed teacher fantasy lead to paper cups? Do I even want to know at this point? Probably better to not soil my mind with that particular image. Now let's think of... field of flowers, yes. Poppies, daisies, whatever the fuck grows on a freaking flower. What can? Yeah, I think every guy would react like this to that image, like, no. Beers. Beers to celebrate. Suddenly this woman is a lot more up in my alley. I'm an easy to please German, what can I say? Easy to please German in walking beat. Yeah, that should be enough. One big beer, another big beer. Two big beers. Here we go. Well, she's not feeling her tongue or her feet. So why is the time to get loot? I mean, I did hear that people can get in the mood, but... Ooh, country for non-premium users. I feel validated as a non-premium user. Going in a jacuzzi. Well, that's pretty damn tame. Actually, that's a good question. You would need special equipment if you wanted to film some shit underwater, wouldn't you? Your poor average camera would probably be feeling somewhat out of its element. So far, so good. But when do we get to the problem? I guess this would be a bit of a problem if somebody was taking his speaking metal out of freaking metal. You can burn yourself on it. Ah. Mr. Monster throat. Can I plug my services at the end? I do love a business-oriented person once in a while. I will admit to that much. Well then. The permanent indeed. Well, at least they're having fun. Let's wish them a nice little order around their little journey. Hopefully finding it to the evicting part. Dude, that's taken me surprisingly long, hasn't it? Hmm? Oh, we get a bonus. When your boss comes up and is like, here, take a bonus. I've just seen what you have to deal with. That's something. I got an achievement. That's neat. Happy New Year, my only wishes come true in your homeless existence. Well, I guess we can see if there's anything near the shop that we could buy. Nope. No problem, I kinda figured. Actually, you will have to excuse me for a second, because I need a new beer, and while I'm on the way I will get rid of the old one, still, you know, in my body. It shouldn't take longer than, well, a minute. Enjoy some, well, nice and relaxing music while I'm doing it. Whoops. Oh, nice kitties are really run between my legs. That's dangerous. Now I'm back, and I have a new beer. It's far too tempting if you have a bit of whiskey in front of you to just, you know, zip the shit out of that, but since I only drink that in very, very moderate numbers, you know, I do try to not overdo it. That glass has to last at least another, well, at least another hour at least. How you guys doing? Well, I mean, me and the kitty by that, well, reasonably well. He seems not too happy that I get a treat and he does not. Which is a lie, because he already got a treat. So, you know. He's lying to me. He's lying with his face. Well, to be fair, when I was younger and working a relatively late starting job, you know, 5-6 big bottles a day weren't that uncommon between me and my colleagues. Oh, you really can't keep that up for a long while, honestly. And I mean, it's just beer. It's still reasonably moderate amount of alcohol in that. Oh, my thing, fall down. But there's that. No, the only thing this game really would need is actually an auto play button, so I can, you know, just sit here, relax it, have both hands free. But it doesn't. But yes. I think when you grow up in Germany, in the most normal ways, you will become somewhat of a drinker, and you will most definitively appreciate beer at the very least. I mean, even my sister, most reluctant, who never really was much of a drinker in her older age, came to be like, you know, beer is tasty, very tasty. Although to be fair, we both tried some, you know, foreign beer once in a while. Had some Chinese, some Japanese variants. I also had some that, well, probably was American. I don't remember its name. Not off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure I got it precisely because of that. But around here it's a bit differently because alcohol has very much tradition here, so it has a bit of a special system. So light alcohol is basically drinking, or is legal after you are reached the age of 16, and hard alcohol is basically up from 18 plus. So basically, because it is part of a culture, you start relatively early. Most have some experience with it early, of course, because, you know, telling children no is a very good way of getting them involved. And, well, I mean, I never considered myself much of a alcoholic or anything, but, yeah, you know. So yeah, especially stuff like wine is very much an acquired taste. Honestly, I think for most people it's the first beer, the first wine is not much of an experience, especially red wine and white wine. We do have quite a few wineries across the rivers here for white wine and stuff. Some of those really, really nice, but not so much in the beginning. It really does take a while to get used to. Although I will admit that I inherited pretty much the taste of my parents, a very dry one for wine, interestingly enough. Never really liked the sweet wine, so a nice lighter rosé is not necessarily to my taste. Nice and fruity white wine though, I can get behind that one, especially if you have some fish or something. That is really a nice compliment to it. Drink something, maybe that would cheer you up. What a good advice. What a German advice. Yes, it's actually rather interesting. While all other laws have been changed to reflect the age when you reach adulthood with 18, for alcohol we still make the exemption. Really was interesting. It shows how deeply intertwined in our culture it is. Yeah. To be fair, I did some quite a few stupid things under the influence, mind you. But you know, back then, going out with the boys, doing shit. In retrospect, it was fun time, and the law usually looks rather lenient on young ones getting a bit wild. Luckily enough. There's that. Although, honestly, for my own kids, I'm quite a bit of more of an, you know, nope, fuck it, you don't. Perspective. Which makes all of the stress I got into with my father when I started doing a bit of drinking, my very own, very much more understandable actually. Because you too was like, no, fuck that. Little asshole, don't. How the tables have turned with time. Hey, you have to admit, this game provides great background music for conversation. I do like it though, I will have to admit. Not precisely what it is, it's probably a combination of things, but I do like it. Actually, that's the precise same statement that, well, my best friend actually made. He was just like, yeah, if I only found this sooner, things would have been so much better. Well, honestly, probably not the same, but for me personally, a bit of a regretful thing is I started smoking relatively early because, well, you know, was the cool thing amongst the boys, and you know, you couldn't be a pussy, which kind of led to me starting smoking, although I started quite a bit later than most of them. I resisted quite a while. But for me personally, the one regrettable moment is that I've not sooner found the pipe. The very classic, you know, old school pipe. You might see it on very old pictures, you know, like sailors smoking. Because that cured me of my habit of smoking cigarettes fucking fast, I can tell ya. Ever since then, I had it with me. It still took me a few years to completely get away from cigarettes, mind you. That's not that long ago, comparatively speaking, but sometimes when I look back, it's I just started with that fucking earlier, and I just would, you know, a bit more consequent about it. Probably my lungs wouldn't be so fucking fucked up. What my nice little doctor said. That's one hell of a stinted conversation. But yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, pot is actually still quite a bit of a debatable subject around here, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Ouch. Flickers the paint and smokes the glass. Interesting. I must admit, as far as, you know, Skyrim goes, never really played it. I played, what was it called, Morrowind, quite a bit, because, well, you know, Morrowind was pretty damn cool. And I played some Oblivion. But after that, I was satisfied, you know? When Skyrim came around, I was like, I'm not really feeling the need for a new Elder Scrolls game, so, you know, when it came around, I just replayed a bit of Morrowind, and I was happy with that. I was like, okay, maybe later. And it has stayed forever on my maybe later list. I don't know, it just didn't click with me. I know many people are like, it's great, it's awesome, and it's apparently getting, you know, a new version every bloody year or something. At least people make fun of that, I've seen. But, still don't feel. I mean, maybe once I would actually get to play it, I would be like, wow, it's awesome, but still not feeling it. Given the choice between that and, you know, playing here a little bit of Valhalla, which is technically speaking, I don't know, it's borderline game area, I would still probably pick this and be like, yeah, I'm feeling better. Well, now it's apparently a whole letter that just says sorry. Ah, that reminds me of the olden days, when people still wrote more letters. I remember from very, very early on, but what was it, when the birthdays came around of most of my family members, and as soon as we could reasonably write, so, you know, starting school, we had to actually write letters to our families because calling them was pricey. And, you know, letters were cheaper. Who does that any longer? I don't think anyone ever. I guess nowadays you would just get a message somewhere. Don't know, wouldn't feel the same, honestly. A handwritten letter feels a bit more personal, I think. Matter of taste indeed. How have the letters managed to create a strategy member? I wonder. Oh, that letter didn't tell you anything, I know. This is yours, doesn't it? Ooh. Well, isn't it annoying when you have somebody around who's like, there's a beer, I'm gonna take it. Oh, my grandma never went on from where's my... he wrote a love letter after 6 years of not speaking. That's interesting. I guess that's how the family history then started, eh? Come on, kitty. It depends. If you're one excusable. In the know, you know about the circumstances, I'd still consider that to be somewhat okay-ish. Maybe from a bit more of an outsider's perspective it would look a bit strange nowadays. That's because a lot of traditions have changed in that regard. Maybe they did find it weird, but they just couldn't post it all over the bloody freaking internet back then. Could very well also be. Ah. Yeah, my lungs. My lungs decided to die. They still want to kill me. But yes, times have changed. Like, still remember that we had a whole class on, what's it called? Writing machine. How to write those. How to write letters with those. How to change the paint. How to, the paint tape and how to put in the paper right. Stuff like that, you know? You don't get it anymore. Why would you? Nobody uses one of those any longer, obviously. Why would you? You have a PC. So much is lost. Well, yes, you basically write somebody nice letter like, wanna fuck? They're either like, well, yes, or no, and then you start courting. Not that uncommon, actually. Also, then it comes down to, you know, a status, position, and if it's potentially interesting, or if it's just a little side thing, then it's really just, you know, what the fuck, yes, no, maybe. I mean, yes, in practicality, you have two different avenues. It's either I want to marry, because, you know, family reasons, or I want to have something to fuck. Now, if you have nothing nice to fuck at your court, then I'll start looking at other ones. There were actually whole, well, I love to call them that, but agencies that would basically provide, you know, contacts to the nobility for that precise, perfect, reasonable purpose. To get yourself something to bang that you would like. I don't think people have changed much in that regard, honestly. It might sound more romantic, but that's inside. In hindsight, everything looks a bit different. Also leaves a lot more evidence behind when you actually try to decide to do some horrible nonsense. Well, stuff like this sometimes happens. It does. It is indeed very interesting how things have changed. Heck, even in my lifetime, things have changed bloody freaking much just because the internet came along and basically changed every bloody rule book that has ever been written before. Doesn't mean that people have changed so much, though. It looks that way, yes. And from my perspective, they haven't really changed that much. They just use other avenues now. Same shit, different avenue. Cold beer. This indeed makes a happy German. This indeed makes a very happy German. Well, I go with loads of people are like, my regrets are endless. Yes, but regrets are pretty damn useless. What you should do is reflect. Look back and think about what you could have done better. Instead of just going like, meh, everything's shit. It is indeed rather ironic, to be very fair. As you know, there's a reason why we call him Alexander the fucking Great. That's a fucking title. You need to do a lot of shit to get that sort of titling. So history will remain unchanged. One will be remembered as, you know, basically an ancient shitposter in one specific regard. The other will be known as the Great. Well, look who won that race in the long run. Actually, I already talked about the Greeks a bit today, didn't I? When it comes to democracy, and they are very interested idea. I do love it when people are like, but the Greeks invented democracy. Yes, in a very limited way, and if you wanted to do that nowadays, you would probably be called all sorts of things. Rightfully so even. Because that would basically, you know, ban over half the population from actually voting. Well, that's a nicer way of saying she's dead. It's just dead. Actually, I'm pretty sure that was the same statement I had after my... I don't even know which one of those, because, well, all of my grandparents are dead, but it's basically the same every time. Like, you know, instead of sitting here all dour and feeling bad about it, let's celebrate, let's drink and have fun. Make merry in remembrance of the dearly departed. Because after all, a funeral is, in the end, for the living and not for the dead. The dead quite literally don't care. Obviously enough, they're dead. The living, however, will have to continue living, which means they care a lot. Yeah, the point is that when people look at the very beginnings of democracy, usually they go like the Greeks, which is true and a nice statement, but that is not even infancy, that is before even really born. It was a trial, that was neat, didn't work out that well. Rome tried being a republic more than once, of course, which, thanks to a certain member of the Great House, didn't really work out that well. But hey, at least they tried. Then came long dark times of, well, kings and kingdoms, and all of that pain. And then of course the Dutch would claim the Dutch having made all of the things. Well, I'm not even surprised at this point. Small beginnings, as they say. You start small, you go big. After a while. I mean, there's a reason why nobody tried it in that form after that, immediately. That actually kept around for quite a while. Where only adult men were allowed to vote. I remember that. Being around. It was around in my parents' generation still. Was it? I want to say yes, but I don't want to make my parents out even older than they actually are. Maybe the tail end of that. Might I remind you that many before you have also claimed to be a republic. Also the Dutch are not innocent peoples. I remember you having colonies. I remember you being all snug about it. I remember those times. Shit. Kronos, you are still trying your best, as I see. I really hope you can turn this around, but Jesus Christ. It must be one hell of a frustrating playthrough. Although, interesting. I rarely have that much problems with DA being that aggressive. Maybe we were just unlucky. Maybe something else. I don't know what it is. That is so interesting. It gets me itching though. It's high time that we play some Total War. I will play some Total War this week. I will absolutely swear on that one. I have my word. It might be true. Might be. I would have to look up the date, but I'm pretty sure there were quite a few republics getting up to snuff in time when things changed. Sasa. Oh, excuse me. Wissa. Well, my dearest little Kronos, that is because the AI cheats. The only difference is that, you know, the harder the difficulty you put, the more it cheats. But it will cheat nonetheless. They should potentially revolt. Realistically speaking, they should. Even in-game in some games, they should revolt, because if you actually take over their provinces and look what they've going on, it's shit. Still they don't. Or rarely. They haven't sometimes, but they really have to fuck up. I think the last time the AI was judged, at least somewhat harshly. I don't want to say Medieval 2, but back then at least I know that the AI lost cities quite often because of being idiotic. And so from my most recent playthroughs of Total War games, it happens rather rarely, doesn't it not? Well, if you're wondering what our dear little Kronos is playing, he is playing Shogun 2 in Rise of the Samurai. And I'm getting the live, basically, combat reports, which I'm very grateful for, because they're actually rather interesting to listen to. Well then, little Jill got a bit of cold feet once things started getting serious. Ah, that's such a young person's statement. You're afraid of a long-lasting and binding relationship, eh? Yeah, color me surprised. Ah, to be young again. I know I do remember having certain conversations with my father back in the day. I was like, I would never do the same mistakes, and it's not the same at all. And now I'm sitting like, yeah, no, it was. Bullshit. Wisdom of age comes, and it bites you in the ass to remind you how much of an idiot you once you were young. That's fun. Well, the pipe, the beer. What a happy little German I am on this fine evening. But seriously, I will play some Total War this week. I feel the itching growing stronger. Especially after I did some training runs today to see if the game would just, you know, work. Normally, it does. Which means... What else is off my to-do list by going back to the... Oh yeah, right. Test run with the little Kronos. That is next on the line. Then we need to set something up. Which means we also need to find a place and time when we actually have the time to play, because, well, usually when two people try to plan something, real life and scheduling can get in your way quite heavily. Well, I mean, you have my blessing to teach those bloody future weeps a lesson. One way or another. But it does sound really difficult, though. I have to admit, yeah, honestly. I think things will go a lot better when we actually play mano a mano, human and human, against the bad evil that is AI. Which means we definitely should set it up. Especially because I'm feeling so bloody motivated. I do need to make use of my motivation, especially when I feel the need to play a game. That's great. But still. As far as this little game is concerned, for example, I was not really feeding it that much, as I was feeling a bit... I was treating it a bit badly because I never really finished what I started. And I didn't see any point in time coming up when I would, so I was like, okay. We will finish it. We will indeed. But yes, we shall now proclaim, like it's a Japanese tradition in warfare, that actually, what would be the highest title? Emperor? Yes. That future Emperor Kronos will of course win this war against all odds. No quarter shall be lost, no step back shall be taken, yada yada, all of that patriotic nonsense. We shall march forward victoriously, of course. That is the most important part. Something like this, at least you know what I mean. I'm sure if you just tell them enough, your peasants will rise up and protect your country. They will get slain all over the place, but that doesn't matter. Yes, but let me ask you a very important question then. Are you just at war with a single clan? At least at the moment. I do remember you mentioning a few others. Also, I remember that your little AI friend family has already been dealt with, so, oh boy, that ain't good. Yeah, that's probably because the AI is really good at, well, talking with each other. Technically speaking, when you're playing on a relatively small map, like Japan is a small map compared to, for example, Empire's giant map, the very moment you're at war with more than one clan, where you have 2 or 3 clans that are attacking you, you should basically consider yourself lost, because they can move relatively quickly over to you, no matter where they are. So if they would actually now organize themselves around that idea, you would lose. Obviously, because you would have at some point have to face them all. But of course, yeah, I cannot do that. Yeah, I think what is actually going to kill you, if anything, is probably gonna be, yeah, the sheer money it takes to actually field good armies. You'll need to take a lot of provinces to not only sustain those, but you actually need to grow, because you will need more armies in the future to turn it around. Look, we reached the end of the whole debate with one single statement. Mourning is fine, but we should be celebrating life. Yes, we should. Mourning is very important. It is, after all, a process for the living, and we should take that seriously, and everybody should mourn in any way they seem fit to deal with what has happened. That is important. I've lost more than my share of, well, you know, family, friends, pets, not least but last not but least. Something like this my tongue doesn't want to do, because that is a thematic I don't really want to talk about. Like even people who are far too young to die. But I kind of have to continue. This is the sad truth, so, you know. If all you do is moping around all day, all you're gonna really do is dishonor the ones that have passed. It's not how it's supposed to be. I mean, you know, if getting drunk and silly for a night is what's gonna bring you back up, that's totally okay. If you need a bit longer, that's also okay. I don't see a problem with that. Need something sweet that has no alcohol. Let's take a sugar rush, because that girl is definitely not of age. Very important lesson. It hits home ever more the more you lose, basically. It's like, yes, I know. It's like making graves. It doesn't serve any practical purpose when you think about it, at least not for those that have gone. It serves very much a purpose for those who are still there. I remember my grandfather died first, so my grandmother went to the nearby graveyard with, you know, thingy. Nice. Very nice. The graveyard. Pretty much every week took care of it, and that, you know, at one point, me being, you know, a rather young child at the point, asked her, you know, what's the point? You waste basically a whole day every week going there and taking care of it. And I was like, yes, it's basically just for peace of mind. It gave her peace of mind. And it's fucking important. Also, that woman was, well, to put it in German terms, a tough piece of leather. You know, Eastern Prussia origin girl. Those were bred fucking tough. Oh boy. Doesn't mean that she didn't feel any nonsense, of course, in that situation. But you know, keep on keeping on and all of that is basically their mantra. And yes, I mean, that woman had pretty much everything. Had to survive the wars, the big wars. Had to rebuild the fucking country, actually twice. Had to, you know, suffer from cancer and all of that, and still fucking keep on keeping on. Jesus Christ. Amazing person. What I'm talking about is because this game... you have walked them so long that they can't actually face you anymore. That's nice. I mean, don't forget, the enemy will be cheating a bit, but if you haven't upped the difficulty to the highest degree, then you should, technically speaking, still have a chance to run them and bleed them dry. And maybe use the time to capture just one or two provinces, build those up a bit, and Jesus Christ, recuperate your armies. That's important. That drink has no alcohol in it, Jill, you're lying. Apple soda. That's the spirit. Go give them hell. Remember your ancient past. Become the cowboy that you have always been meant to be. Capture the wild, capture the frontier, the new frontier of Japan. Give them hell, basically. It's a bit of a stereotype, isn't it? That how all Americans are basically cowboys at heart, something like that. And don't get me wrong, I don't mean that in a bad way. Just show them some of your, you know, cowboy spirit and stuff. Okay, Jill, I will point out that you have been an idiot. A dildo might be in an artificial nice way, but anything that is phallic shaped can be used. So, your ideas have been wrong. Also, if she had a girlfriend, why did she need... Maybe she just had a strong sex drive. Who knows? Let's not get into that, shall we? Okay, that's just unhygienic. If she has, quote-unquote, used that certain cucumber, do not use that in a freaking salad. It's just not hygienic. Don't do that shit. Oh yeah. Probably also don't have that much in the way of generals, I suppose. Which is a pain in the ass, because armies without general are potentially quite the liability, actually. You managed to win this one, to a certain degree, yeah? You take a picture. I want to see your triumph. Just, actually, let me see. Do we have some channel on your Discord thingy for pictures of that? I don't see anything. What? I mean, technically speaking, it's not art, but it's art. Let's say it's art. Put it in art or something. I can see it. I want to see you win. Most heroically. You do. You do indeed, don't you? Do it. I swear, as soon as I start playing something that would require screenshots, I will make screenshots and I post them there. No, this turned out to be a far more chill evening than I had expected. Does do some good for this poor soul. With all the nonsense going on, with my store running ever worse, with the bank screaming because, well, they don't want to give me any more money and everything. That's just actually doing a rather nice job at relaxing me. That's such a dead thing to do. What do you bet? Yes, if you only make them up of elite units, that will bankrupt you. As I said, at least try to mix in a few of the cheap ones. Not necessarily even just for, attacking purposes, but just because more armies means more strength, means less chance the AI will randomly declare war on you. Because they consider you piece meal to take along the way. Honestly, that's one of those points I never really got behind. I don't really care. I mean, what's the point? So your child turned out to be, into man, woman, whatever. What do I care about that? I mean, maybe I would have liked grandchildren at some point, but it was... such a strange thing. Never really was at me. Oh well. Nice. Take them. Take them. Take them hard, take them fast, take them brutally. Make sure they learn the lesson of not opposing the human. That evil AI needs to learn its lesson. It needs to be whipped to shape. I like it. This is turning out rather successful. Such a nice little happy end. And every problem in this game was heard through talking. Bit different from what Kronos is experiencing right at this point, our dearest of friends. has to suffer the full blunt of what it means when politics take things a step further. After all, I think some wise man once pointed out that warfare is just an extension of politics, which is something I find rather saddening, honestly, but it speaks volumes about humanity. Yes, we finish this game, and we will of course get an ending out of it. Yes, the North has fallen. Now, do it like the Germans. Build the Northern Japanese Federation and conquer the rest. Ah, remember that. Actually, that's something you can do in good old Paradox's Victoria 2. I just found out recently, but I randomly wanted to get a bit more practice in, so I had this running in the background as Prussia, and I was like, oh look, you can build the actual North German Federation. I was like, yes, Bismarck would be happy to see this. And he spoke again. That seems to be a bit of a constant problem, isn't it? Very much of a problem. But yeah. Honestly, no, you're probably pretty hated at this point. I was about to also, yeah, it's Rise. Rise, that means you have to part with little factions, actually, shit. I was about to say just go for, try to pay someone, if you still have money, to get some trade agreements going, because those will pay for themselves easily in the long run. But Rise has relatively few factions. Think about it, and that's really kinda gonna screw you over, because I'm pretty sure most of them are gonna hate you. Ah, shit. Anything else? You know, the only thing you can technically speaking do is try to build up your provinces a bit more economically. Which too is... I mean, it's not that bad, actually. I do like that later on, not so much you should get one of the samurai, you'll see it for yourself. But there is basically a mechanic where the people are actively repulsing the idea of modernization. For example, when you take your farms up above a certain level, it will get public unrest. Because of course, you know, modern methods are not good. Oh shit. Yeah, you're not gonna get much trade then. Usually your AI partner, the one you start with, is a good idea for that. Did you have fun? That's an interesting question, game. I will answer yes. I had fun so far. I mean, you know, part of that is because of little Kronos. But you know, that just sweetens the deal, doesn't it? What was that one saying? I know it in German, but there is obviously gonna be an English language equivalent, but I'm not getting it. Yeah, I've been playing for a while, haven't you? Do try and, you know, give me a picture of the situation as it is right now, and I can actually see. Show me your map, show me your politics, so I can actually see just how bad it looks for you. And maybe we're able to come up with something of a bit of a strategy at least, or some advice I can give you. But yeah, I'm luckily already finished with all of my errands for the day. If not, that would be a problem because it's almost 12 o'clock and I'm kinda, you know, a bit out of time for that. Now then, let's see the ending of getting homeless. And then we're gonna go and do better. Because luckily this game has a skip button, and that means that we can just skip through the text. Isn't that awesome? Well, you have been evicted for good reasons. Spending money on useless stuff. Of course not. Oh, a bed. A bed is good. It's hot in here. Probably more than one way though, isn't it? Hey, I got New Game Plus save data. Why you need New Game Plus data for this particular game is beyond me. But it doesn't really matter now, does it? Because we're not just going to go like, load the game, and now we're not gonna spend all of our money on doing useless tricks, and instead we're going to buy that. I think she wants that poster, doesn't she? Yes, she's happy now. Now we go to work. Now we use the power of skipping to get the other endings out of the way. I love skip buttons sometimes. Now then, let's start with a big beer. Easy enough to do. Ding ding. The moon blast. And the rocks and blended, which just means waiting for a second because, well, that thing needs to shake a bit faster. Easy peasy. And a pile driver. Deep, 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 deep. Hey, voila. Something sweet. Sugar rush is always a good idea. And we need a bit of tea. Well. And this Buckle Star is sparkles. All aged. Jim. Come on, game. Allow me. Allow me a bit of doing it in style and fast. Blend that shit. Skip functions. Helps along the way. Otherwise I would have to go through shit. This all again. And at a relatively slow space comparatively speaking. The beer is a classic, then you'll get a beer. No way about it. Kick over velvet. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that's 5, and that's another 5. And rush. Which is just a nicer way of saying goodbyes. Such nonsense. Last but not least, the beer. That's a woman after my own taste. Nothing against the good old-fashioned beer. Zero mistakes. That's what we all liked here. Well, Jill will have a roof on her head for another month. And a sense of relief will make sure she focuses on work. Yeah, could go shopping, but nah. Why would I? I have all the things I ever wanted. Oh yeah, that one. I had forgotten. Starting off with another beer, easy enough. And something like this. And something non-alcoholic. How about a sugar rush? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And I need to do the most amount of elimination ever, because they have an ass load of ingredients. Like this, like this, this. Voila. Let's take the Crystal Temple. That's a good and easy one. Get in. How about a blue fairy? Next we need a sugar rush if memory serves. Spotted it last time. Actually, that I didn't forget that already. Oh yeah, first comes you. Yes, I remember now. Now we need the sugar rush. And we need another sugar rush. Yeah, I need a lot of sugar rushes all of a sudden. It's kind of strange. I'll take it. Jesus Christ. The chat is in the way. Wait, I need two big ones, alright? Yeah, I'm trying. No mistakes again, huh? Build your work. Now we can skip things ahead once again. That makes it a lot easier for me. Viel better. New. It's a good chatting as well because my bladder has filled me filling up with beer and it kinda wants to be emptied again. You enjoyed the outro again? Then we watch the index. The other ones. The ones I hadn't had yet. I think one last beer is appropriate for finishing title series. Sure. Yeah, I'm really falling to bed because it's like 12 o'clock at this point. I kinda need to sleep a bit. Actually, I can't actually skip this one. Oh well, oh well, oh well. Well, are they empty? Have you managed to beat them? Well, beat them, quote unquote. That sounds like you have a pretty good chance to get yourself some nice little properties to actually, you know, do something about your poor economy before it dies a horrible death because of your need for elite units. Nice. Roll with it. Roll down all the way to the furthest south that you can go, which is Okinawa, I think. Yes, I will just assume it is. Take that all. Take all the lands. Oh, unlimited. Until your finance minister is like, sorry about disables, but money short. Money in really short supply. What a nice opportunity. Dishwash. 2016, that's 6 years ago already, isn't it? Jesus. What a long time ago already. At least I'm not feeling that old. Looking at that date. Comparatively speaking, you just try playing Baldur's Gate nowadays. And then you look at the dates and you're like, I'm old. I'm very, very old. Well then, let's see what else happens in the world when you don't get evicted. Apparently Jill is getting some curry. Well, that's not a bad choice, necessarily. Apparently Mr. Strange has decided to start making curry. Yeah, cover-up stories, not good. Yeah, who cares about reality, eh? If it's inconvenient to the masses, it shall be censored. Yeah, very nice girls. I know who you're talking about even. Okay, we're trying making time. Pretty sure we were in February already, but now we're in January again. Well, that's one way of hiding your special eye, just making a star thing over it. Oh, you get a new job. You turned that one around rather spectacularly, didn't ya? That looked so bloody freaking bleak for quite a while. That's the sort of success stories we like. Oh, well, that ends well, as they say. Now we just need to go through the harrowing process of doing the small conquering over and over and over again. Well, somebody's really fucking stoked. And we traveled forward in time again. Well, probably for long hair. People will want to play with it. Kinda get used to that. Cucumber shirt. I see, I see. Well, everybody seems happy. Isn't that a nice thing? I like happy ends. Happy ends have a good thing to them, don't they? Those poor elite units probably have bled dry for your conquest, but hey, you'd imagine so. Both will be veterans at this point, to more than one degree. A self-taught honor student. Impressive. I'll take it. That is a really telling statement, isn't it? It's like, yes, 2 times I was able to attack. The rest of the time it's like, well, the enemy was faster, better, stronger, and they lost like the little bitches there. Did a very, very, very diverse set of endings, to be completely fair. Well, you do that. Thank you very much for dropping by. And thanks for the updates on the war front. It's good to see you reign so superiorly against those foul, foul enemies. Bear in mind, you shall have a good one on this fine day and enjoy it very much more, while I will, calmly bring it to an end and go to bed because, well, it's getting rather late. Even though I have a bit of a late shift tomorrow, that still doesn't really mean much if I don't go to bed soon. Yes, let's, actually I'm gonna just, yes, you do that. I will probably answer you sometime tomorrow when I'm awake again, awake and alive. Just, let me know and we'll work out the rest, step by step. We'll get that one done, I'm sure of it. And then we can cooperatively murder the bad people. That's something to look forward to, I'd say. Well, what is a go to Panama? Okay. Well, I've seen more than enough, I would say. It was a grande finale. I'm pretty sure I got all the character endings I can get. Actually, I don't know, there might be more, but I would have actually to look that up. And I shall not do that. That would be a bit wasteful. Phew. A bit longer than I had anticipated, but as I said, I kind of wanted to finish this on a high note. High note it was. We won the game. Bonus one is war. Everybody is a bit happier on this fine day. Let alone, I would say, this worked quite a bit. At least for me personally. Beat all it matters in the end. Right though, while I'm, cleaning out the one pipe I used on this fine morning actually. I need to clean it out so that I can nice and sit down for tomorrow, where it will be probably news again. I shall at this point bid you adieu. Have a good one in all of that, and oh, thanks for dropping by, of course. It is as usual rather highly appreciated, obviously. Let us see here. Who do we have on the left side of things? We have these renameable ones. Of course, the one, the only, the Grande Ronos, the whole stampede of him. Dropping by to entertain us quite a bit while wrecking some chaos all over Japan. And he did so rather successfully. We shall applaud him for that. Very much so, he deserves it. And next in line we have Elite Strategy member, a rather well-known face at this point, isn't he? Dropped by for a while, and then disappeared. Just like the Dutch colonies, mind you. Also disappeared rather quickly, didn't they? Well, kinda deserved it. To be completely fair and honest with you. After all, who do these Dutch think they are, giving colonies to themselves, eh? They can't have that. And that's everyone, I think, on the left side. That is easily nameable. And the right side we have none that I can see. Maybe I've missed someone. If so, do come along and shout at me, basically. I shall correct that, of course. As for everybody else on the more working side of things, I do feel appreciated too. Get yourselves on the shoulder for a job well done, all around. Yes, we shall all pat ourselves on the shoulder shake hands and be like, yes, 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 done well indeed. And I do hope to see you all again soonish, as in, well, if statistics anything to go by tomorrow, with, you know, a bit more of a normal and short stream. This was a bit of an exception to the rule, to be fair. And, well, sometime this week, as I said, you'll probably see some actual total war going on, one way or another, because I do feel the freaking age for that coming along strong. For the moment, though, and I will have to cut it short here a bit, because, well, it's bloody late. I shall, once more, bid you to wish you a good one, and bye-bye